Hey guys, morning. Just out here in a park nearby where I live, taking in some fresh air before starting the day. It's really beautiful out here. Nice blue skies. Spring is really in full effect. You know, things get seen greener again, etc. One thing came to my mind recently and has been on my mind for a few days. You know, what to do when you feel like giving up. Yeah, when I think about it, there are times that I've experienced times where I felt like I just wanted to give up on something. I remember working on a project which was new for me, where I was trying, I did not have much knowledge of the tools being used, etc. And it was pretty challenging to get done. And at one point, I felt like calling it quits. And it was just so frustrating. And I said, you know what? Forget this. Let's try something else instead. My mind told me to speak to a trusted person. And I even told the person how I felt. And we agreed to meet up. And when we met up, it was agreed that, you know, quitting is not, giving up is not the first option. Let's explore some alternatives. So we explored alternatives and we discussed it, and I felt a little better. And then when I went back to that project and I implemented some of those solutions that was proposed, it worked. Another time where I felt like giving up was, for example, programming in general. Programming can be hard sometimes, and sometimes you're there coding and you're going along well until you buck up on a certain error that takes you days to resolve. And that has happened to me several times, and I just felt like, no, this is not for me. Forget this. But then, my mind tells me try one more time and search for something one more time. And when I do that, it works out. So, those are some experiences of not that I experienced when there are times I felt like giving up, and then there's something in me that says try one more time. So what did I learn during times when I felt like giving up? How do I move forward? Well, the first tip I would say, you feel the emotions that you feel like you want to give up, that you feel like you want to move away from this thing. But process your emotions very carefully. Sometimes that's just your emotions reacting on the surface. But if you sit and really think about how you're feeling, you might realize deep down inside, you might feel like you want to give up, but there's the feeling that says, try again. Listen to that feeling. If your feeling says try again, then you should try again. The second thing is, before you give up on something, is to ask yourself, have I really tried every single alternative that is out there? Have I really tried to find all possible solutions to the problem? If you think about it, chances are you might not have. And what you have to realize is that you just have to keep on trying. Sometimes it might require different approaches. It might require you to bounce ideas off different persons to get a fresh perspective. It might require you to think outside of the box as well. Because sometimes whenever things are not moving forward, whenever you're experiencing the same problems, sometimes you have to try things differently. They have this saying that insanity is trying the same thing several times and expecting a different result. So if you want to get different results, you have to try things differently. Search for different solutions. Speak to people to get a fresh perspective. And just keep on asking yourself, have I really tried exploring all options that are out there to solving this problem? So, explore all options to solving a problem before you give up. Another thing I learned about you know, what to do when you feel like giving up, when you feel like throwing in the towel, you cannot let your emotions dictate to you. You might feel like you want to throw in the towel, right? But as I said, sometimes emotions can definitely mislead you, and you might end up giving up way too soon. So sometimes you have to just move forward despite how you feel. You might feel frustrated and say, oh boy, I don't want to try this again. But you know for sure there is a solution out there. You just have to focus on that and just probably temporarily ignore how you feel. Well, I wouldn't say ignore how you feel, but press forward despite how you feel. What I found works for me is that I said to myself, despite how I feel, I'm going to try again. So probably you can try that as well. Finally, one thing, when you feel like you want to give up, when you feel like you want to throw in the towel, you should recognize that sometimes the solution is just around the corner. You never know. Trust me, you never know. Sometimes it takes just one extra push, one extra step, one small change, and then you experience that breakthrough that you're waiting for. I can tell you, I've experienced that most times in my life, even in getting into tech. You know, just took one more resume, one more try, one more practice of job interviews, one more effort of learning new skills, and I finally got a job in a tech company. So sometimes the breakthrough is just around the corner. So you have to remember that, and this will also help to give you some motivation to keep on trying until you succeed. So just remember, sometimes the breakthrough is just around the corner. Well, I just hope that you find some of these tips, useful. This is a bit outside of the comfort zone for me because I'm not used to recording in public. So if I come across a little nervous, bear with me. But yeah, I just thought I'd share this with you guys. It was on my heart, and I hope you like it. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.